gave the person a demo and she said, this is fantastic. Could you actually build this out for our entire mortgage agency? They have 3 offices, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, and Miami. And
Wow.
they got 200 loan officers. And I said, absolutely, I could do it. Every conversation, no matter if it's a solopreneur or it's a large organization, I tell them this. And this is what I love about this business. I want to be a buyer. I'm not here to sell you anything. I have something you need. I'm not looking to be hired help. I'm looking to be a partner. And if we can't partner, then I'm not the best person to work with. So it's really like a take it or leave it type of business. Like, I don't sell anything at this point. It's just here, just what it is and where you want to get started.
Hi, it's Dan here from Flexxable, and today I'm going to talk to one of my students who went from 0 to 21K per month in 3 months. Let's start it. Okay, so I just got off a call with Touré Young. He's an American dude that came into my program on, I think, Boxing Day. He's had incredible success after he threw himself into database reactivation with AI, basically. And what he's done is been able to charge clients on the front end in order to hire his system or license his system. And then he charges a commission basis on any lead that turns into a sale as a result of AI and what he's built in the background, which is what we teach in the course. Fascinating interview. This guy held a cleaning company that he was part owner in that went to $3 million a year. And he stepped away from that. He's had the ups and downs that all of us have had. Now he's found AI, he's jumped on the AI revolution, and it's the freest and happiest he's been in a long time. He's providing for, I think he's got 4 kids. Just an inspiration to see what he's doing and where he's going. It's really cool. So without further ado, I'll jump in and I'll see you afterwards. Take care.
Hello, sir.
Hey, man. How are you?
It's good. I finally get a chance to chat other than through school, face to face.
I know, man. I know.
Uh,
What a
I just want
pleasure.
to, I just want to first say thank you. I can't stress enough. Um, I remember us chatting early on, and I didn't know all the things that you did. Like, I didn't know you. I mean, I studied a little bit about your background, but of course, we always in the business. What's in it for me, right? So I'm looking up some stuff, and then about October, I kind of find how to build a bot. I sold to 3 clients, and then I'm calling you trying to ask you questions. You're like, "Are you about Royale?" I was like, "Nah, I don't know nothing about it. I had no idea about it." And you're like, "I'm with my family. I'll get back with you." And you sure did get back with me, but I appreciate it. I just want to say thank you for that.
No worries, man. How do you pronounce your name? Is it Touré?
It's Touré.
Touré. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
It's a little funny, a little accent over the E.
Nice. Where's that from? Where's that name
It's
from?
actually it's origin and it's French, but it's
Okay, I
origin and
thought so.
but the surname is coming from Guinea in Africa.
Nice.
So
Nice. Whereabouts are you?
I'm Ohio, Columbus, Ohio.
Cool. Good stuff. All right. So today, or I mean, firstly, thank you, right? Like, thanks for the kind words. It means a lot because we really have been trying inside this business to kind of put something together where, um, we can have people come in and just get results quickly. So it's been a lot of hard work over the years to get to the point where we are now. So it's really great for me to hear of someone like you coming in and getting such great success out of the gate. So firstly, thank you. Um, Really, I just wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about your journey, what you were doing. I don't know if you went to university or whether you did something else. Like most of us in marketing started in a job and we hated that job and we ended up like doing something else, right? For me, I wanted to get out of the 9 to 5 so much. I like sold pot plants. I did SEO services. I was doing affiliate marketing. I sold iPhone insurance. Like I tried everything, you know what I mean? So I'm interested to hear what your journey is because it's always really interesting.
Listen, I think it's so strange. I've become a jack of all trades, a utility man, but I started in college my introduction to marketing. I have a degree in public relations and business. So I went to like a liberal arts school. So they made you do a whole bunch of stuff, like from writing for the school. I actually have my own radio station.
Nice, man.
I started designing websites. And so it was this one company, it was called NAMI, National Alliance of Mentally Ill. And one of our assignments was to work with them to help them rebrand. And that's kind of how I got into marketing at that point. And then when I graduated, um, I always wanted to be in the spirit of entrepreneurship. So I used to jump out of the plane with no parachute. So when you used to say that to me, it was like it resonated so well. Had some hardship. I was an investor, and the housing market happened, and
Yep.
over in the States, changed the world for everybody for the most part. I
Yep.
actually had to get a job because up until that point, I was always doing commission-based jobs only, and and the job that I had wasn't bad. It was just I got comfortable, and my wife knew that I got comfortable. And it was so weird because I was getting a paycheck every 2 weeks, and it was unusual for me. Like I was like, you mean to tell me if I don't do good, I still get a check? Like that was unusual. So but I started a cleaning company during the recession, and I started in '08, and I grew it. I had $1,500 and I grew it to $3 million.
Wow.
I had it. Now I used to have hair, but I got stressed out.
Same as me, man.
I used to have hair, and but I learned a lot of lessons in that. And I actually had a partnership that I ended up exiting the business about. I seen the writing on the wall back in 2017, and I wanted to get back into marketing, so I started to do that. And probably 2022, it's kind of walked away. I basically left everything that I knew. Like I had an identity in it, and
Yeah.
I questioned if I even had the durability to start something over. And
Mm.
really at the end of the day, that was when the journey began to get back on the wheel. Was in 2017. Did some big projects for some people. Was working on like over the top, like getting people on Roku and Fires, doing media buys, and I was helping companies design their own. I was working with large nonprofit organizations who wanted to create their own ecosystem, so I would help them structure and build like their own Facebook pages using like platforms like Honeycomb and stuff like that.
Yep.
And so really at the end of the day, I did lead gen, and there's a lot of positives and negatives about lead gen, but I didn't want to focus in that space. I really wanted to be a consultant. I wanted to be a partner. I didn't want to be someone telling me if they didn't have the structure in their business. I didn't want to be the person who brought value and then it got devalued based off of lack of organization that the system had or
Mm.
whatever the case may be. So I was just trying to find a lane. And I had went through depression. I got lawsuits from past employees. I had IRS audits. I
Oh
mean,
man.
it was just so much that was happening. And yeah, we homeschool our children. And I got a kid in college. I know I look young, but I
You
got a
do,
kid.
man.
I got four. I got a
Wow.
19-year-old. I got a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old, and I got a 6-year-old. And
Oh
so they
man.
rely on me. And unfortunately, at the time, I'm trying to this business that afforded me where we was traveling. I basically took months off at a time. It's like I had to start all over again. And so
Mm.
I was just searching. And when that search came and saw you, I wanted to blend. You were talking the same things that I wanted to blend, but I couldn't put it together. And it was this just clicked. And so that's kind of how I got
Mm.
here.
Mm. I think I mean it's a great story. Um I mean your journey sounds like a lot of people that I speak to like in this space, right? Like they price so many things. The cleaning company sounds great, but it was probably I mean, why did your time end there?
So it wasn't because we wasn't profitable. I literally, well, my partner was 11 years to my senior. And
Okay.
I think he took advantage of that. I was very young, wet behind the ears. So I was just running full speed, right?
Yeah.
And I was taking a lot of stuff on me. He was supposed to help manage the business, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, we wasn't managing it well. So I'm getting visits from the tax man, and because a lot of
Mm.
stuff was in my name, it was just to the point that I was getting a lot of stress. And then one of the biggest mistakes that I learned in growing business is that I was trying to grow it from the bottom up versus trying to grow it from the top down. And so it was hard to separate employees from managers because they had access to me. And so it was to the point where I wanted to try to do something different. He wanted to keep the things the same. And so I started realizing that he didn't know much more than I did. I had put him on a pedestal because he
Mm,
was already successful, at least in my mind. And you know, when you're young, you're still trying to figure out who you are, and I think he knew that. And so,
Yeah.
um, he told me that one of my biggest things that I saw that he did that was really good is he was a specialist. He was really good at sales, and I was good at everything else. And he
mm,
was like, but he told me one day because I was struggling with this, and he was like, you know why? You're better than me. And I said, what do you mean? He said, because you're a generalist. You're good
mm,
at a lot of different things. He said, me, I'm just
mm.
a specialist. If I'm not good at this, you know, life sucks for me. But for you, you can pick up and go. And
Yeah.
that kind of started taking the wheels off. And I always seemed to gravitate. But what transpired that really kind of got me where I wanted to go in a different direction with the cleaning, it was that the industry was changing because of COVID. And so we were ahead of the curve in it, and we still have some really solid accounts, and we were growing into multiple places. But from a liquid standpoint, we would have had to continue to keep getting money, keep raising
Mm,
funds. And if we
mm.
wasn't managing the funds that we had, I didn't want to attach myself to more money that I had to be attached to. So I decided to
Yeah.
kind of peel back. And then I just kind of literally gave him everything. And it wasn't hard to give it up, but it was more hard for me in my identity because everything about that business, clients that I got, the structure that's there, I built
Oh,
it.
you. Oh,
I
you.
built it.
Yeah.
And then it was just like what I got to show for it, but experience. But this business now that I'm in, trust me, I've taken a lot of those nuggets and I've now moved it into this.
Part of the journey, man. It's part of the journey. I mean, that's another thing that I had. I got into business with a partner, and that didn't end well either. You know, like we do these things. We also try and scale something uh, to bigger and better, but that means that usually we have to get more staff, um, spend more on marketing, get bigger clients, and then it's kind of like even though it's good for the ego to be up at $3 million a year or whatever it was, like you might only be making 100 grand profit from that business, right? You know what I
Trust
mean?
me, trust
Yeah.
me. You paying about 60% in labor, not to mention what you have to put in material, and then the turnover is more expensive than that. Because
Mm,
in that business, that model is that you're not finding somebody who want to be a cleaner for the rest of their life, right? Like so it's like you constantly are having that turnover, and it just seemed
stuff.
to me it was like a rat race. It was just something that I created. I was grateful that I built it where I can actually work on it, but it still pulled me back down because it was things that it was like a job. It was like a high price job. I didn't feel like I was an entrepreneur. I felt like I was just a self-employed individual working for
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. I mean, I've been there and done that as well. And what I've realized with what we've created here is a business that we're able to run where it's like fun and easy to land clients. The calls are just fun, right? Like they just get it. No one says no. And what people are starting to experience now is that once the sales Android is set live and onto the client's inside the client's business, it's even more fun. That's because they start seeing these results, and you're transformed almost immediately from like I guess the old school client agency relationship, which is you're kind of their slave a little bit, right? They expect
Yes.
you to do everything for them, and they'll blame you, and you're the first to go when there's a problem or when money gets tight. But now what we're seeing is that people are coming in and they're much more in a partner type relationship with these businesses. And, you know, we get really looked after, right? Bake dinners, trips abroad, like all sorts of cool stuff is what's on offer here. Not to mention buying what we're buying us out or buying or licensing what we've built for these companies, right? There's some real big opportunity there. Um, so it is very exciting, right? It's very exciting. So tell me, I mean, you've had this journey up until this point, and when did you buy into Roya? December,
Actually, I bought it the day after Christmas.
26th of December. Yeah.
Yep, I had it in
The
26th of December.
22nd of March today. So it took you a while to get going?
Well, this is what I did. I was very strategic in what I knew I wanted to do. I wanted to learn it because I felt like at the end of the day, I have the capacity to be a technician, but I also am a salesman. And
Yeah.
so what I wanted to do is that I needed to grow two at the simultaneously because I wasn't bringing in as much income as I'm accustomed to in my household. So I took some clients that I already had and I identified one of the clients who were really good, probably back in August when I went on this journey trying to find how I was going to start this business. I partnered with a guy who had a really big agency in the actual insurance space.
Yep.
Now, to be a little bit transparent, I'm also a licensed agent. So I
Good.
kind of
Good.
knew the nuances of that business,
Yeah.
but I didn't really convey that though. I just wanted to know that I was really good. I understood the nuances of business. So it made me look a lot different. But in the meantime, I started just giving him value because he already had a downline. I wanted him to give me a referrals to his downline.
Mm,
So I figure
mm.
if we partner, I'll help you, you help me. And it turned out to be a good relationship. He started putting, I didn't realize he was so valuable in his own industry that people who also had higher agencies than him or bigger agencies than him respected him. So he started putting me in contact with these individuals
The guy's up rather than down.
above him. Correct.
Yeah.
So what I
Yeah.
did is that I basically used him as a guinea pig with his stuff just to fix some stuff and learn some stuff. And then I started to grab around to other agents. And then it's kind of like in that industry, everybody's always trying to, compete or use the same thing somebody else is doing. So
Yeah.
he put me in a couple rooms with some people that he does business with as well. So up to this point, I haven't had to do any marketing. And so now I'm just getting really good at crafting offers that make sense. So I actually layer in that industry, a lot of agents are not organized. They don't have CRM systems. And if they do get CRM systems, they treat it like a high price Excel sheet, just sales coming in. So I basically created my CRM system to be so organized as a box, but I also wanted to layer it. And I use AI as an upgrade, so I
Mm,
didn't really necessarily sell a CRM system. I'm selling the AI bot in my presentations, but they're getting a
yes.
CRM system. So I basically
Nice.
just flipped it.
So you're leading with database reactivation with AI. That's what
Correct.
you're leading with. I've got some. Have you got any old leads that you've thrown in the bin that you've been trying to dial and haven't turned into a sale? Do you want me to work them, on a performance basis? And of course, they say yes. Then when you say yes, you do your first campaign with them or whatever, they make some sales and then you can upsell them into the CRM or maybe even sell them the CRM alongside the DBR stuff, right?
Correct. So I got you. It was a word. I watched a video and it changed. It was somewhere in school. I watched a video and it was a word that was used and it was talking about pricing. And the word was that we could anchor anywhere. I don't know if you said it,
Yeah,
but that
yeah, that
word
was me.
stuck. That word stuck with me. So what I did was that every conversation, no matter how much money they had or how big their database, I wanted to be in a position where I can anchor an offer. So when I got on a call with them, they may have came from a demonstration that they heard about. So when I get on the calls to do a demonstration, I do like a 3 deck slide. I do a 3 deck slide. I integrate why GHL is so big, but I give AI all the credit in the process.
Nice.
So, so, but then before I do this deck page, I kind of ask these questions about where they are in their business. And then I'm basically planting seeds for me to use that as my advantage when I hit my offer towards the end.
Yeah.
So it'll say something on the lines like, okay, how much of value, what's your value client worth? Like, what is the lifetime of this value client? How long do they stay on your
Nice.
books?
Yep.
Also kind of just ask questions. If you could get, here's one good question I'll ask. If you could actually take some leads that you've already paid for and it can increase your bottom line, what would that be worth to you? And whatever number they give me is the number I'll play off of.
Nice. Yeah.
so so once I get that information, I kind of use that, and so now what I've been doing is layering in my consulting services because I'm really good at coming up with strategies. So if I tell them, I say, listen, I changed the word from hey, you can rent it out to using it licensing. So that license
Nice.
word changes changes the importance of it, right?
Yeah.
So now when I say you license, I say, listen, right now I'm running an offer. If you take advantage of it now, these going to be individual license and you'll have to pay for them separate. So I'll say you'll get a speed to lead, a reactivation, or you can get a referral. And I show them how you can take a bot. And so imagine you take your past clients, it's gold in your database.
Mm.
And I used to, my old partner in the cleaning business, he used in the recruiting, he used to take high level individuals and sell like the printer machines. And he used to have his database, he used to call it Gold Mine. That was the name of the database. And so it did a whole bunch of great stuff. So I used to take that concept and said, listen, instead of you continue to keep spending money on leads, it takes you 5 times as much to get a new client as it is to take an old client. So how about we take your existing clients, I custom field an AI bot based off a personal connection that you have with that person. We can reach out to them and we can do 3 things in one conversation. One, we're going to ask how the family's doing, if there's any other new additions. 2,
Nice.
we're going to find out if they can give us a testimony that we can leverage to possibly get more clients. And then 3rd, we're going to basically say, can you give us a referral? All in one conversation, depending upon how they respond. And they was like, that'd be awesome. I said,
Wow.
look, you don't even have to worry about paying me up front. What we can look at is we can do a test run with it. If it works, we can then have a discussion, but we can anchor wherever you feel comfortable. So how old is your leads? And they'll say something like, well, my leads is 3 months old or it's 2 years old. I got 5,000 people on my leads list. I said, great. Well, how about we do this? We come up with maybe 200 to about 1,000 people that we can, let's do 1,500 people. And out of those 1,500 people, we're going to run a list about 100 to about 200 of those lists over a period of time. And we're going to see how well it performs. If it performs well, we'll have a discussion and see if we move further. We'll come up with an agreement. I'll get paid to basically anchor in. Now with insurance, they concern themselves with rollbacks and chargebacks. And I'm sure you're familiar with that. So
Yeah.
for those who are listening to this call, a chargeback is meaning that a person, they got advance on a premium and a person didn't necessarily pay their policy. And a rollback is if their downline didn't pay their fees for these A's. And so it goes up to that agent. So because I'm an agent, I kind of understand that cash flow is important for them, but they spend a great deal of money in leads. So I figured I'll say, how about instead of focusing on selling them on the commission of the deal, I'm going to partner with them on a license aspect and then say, if it's going to be certain products, like if it's an annuity project, I'm going to get maybe 1 or 2%. And
Yeah.
then if it's going to be, and then now I'm brokering a deal now because I'm licensed, I am now going to be creative and say, hey, I'm in a conversation with a guy right now who has 10,000 leads. And I said, listen, how about I get 25% of anything you close? Because now you can write, I'm signed up with the same carriers that you are. So now you can split
Yeah.
that with me.
Nice. Yeah.
So now that's kind of what the deal we're working on right now with that. So
Yeah, that makes sense. So you're leveraging your own license to be able to split commissions with the people you're installing the licensing deal with. And you do that nationwide because you guys can, like, you can get your license in any state, can't you? It just costs $50 or something like that, or whatever it is. So yeah.
correct. So basically in that show, I identify what states they're in. I have
Yeah.
several different states that I'm licensed in. If it's a state that I'm not licensed in, we'll just take a fee, a flat fee around
Yeah.
that. And if it's
Yeah.
something I'm already licensed in, I'm not looking to try to get, but I don't even practice anymore. Like when
Yeah.
people come back to me for license, I just refer it to my partners
Yeah.
because I give them something in exchange.
Mm.
And because I don't want to deal with clients like that anymore. I'm so used to dealing with B2B clients. I'd rather deal with B2B clients, and
Yeah.
especially those who fit within my wheelhouse.
Nice. And you're comfortable. How quickly does the money start coming in?
Well, in our business, it comes in pretty quickly because they're trying to close those peoples on one day sits. Now, I actually have got an opportunity. I've ventured out into 2 different spaces. I've also been in real estate. I used to be a licensed loan officer. So I end up connecting through a connection, through a referral, got me in the door with a large mortgage company. They also own 3 other companies. That own a construction company, a mortgage company, and something else that they own. But they were looking for a database that they can actually control. I was like, I can turn this over to Hispanics. They actually have a huge Hispanics population. And so happened the guys that work for me that I've been hiring also speak Spanish. I said, great. I mean, I took it in school, but I can't speak it.
Uh,
So I said, I feel like that organization is underserved. So I gave the person a demo, and she said, "This is fantastic. Could you actually build this out for our entire mortgage agency? They have 3 offices: Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, and Miami,
wow.
and they got 200 loan officers." And I said, "Absolutely, I could do it." So yeah, absolutely.
Didn't have to think about that one for long.
Huh?
You didn't have to think about that one for long.
No, I didn't have to think about that long. So in essence, really what we're doing is that, but they're going to be using my database. So I'm going to basically create my platform, give them access, and have them white label. So I'm just going to get a whole nother GHL account, basically have it look like it's their whole scenario, and basically structure it for them, charge them a maintenance fee for doing it. And then on top of that, have them use me for any strategies if they choose to for billable hours. But often we're just going to basically rely a lot on the AI bot to help them through their business model. And really what I'm doing is just focusing on large organizations. I'm focusing on agencies that have $5 million or more. I'm concentrated. I would like to see them in business for at least 2 years minimum.
Yep.
So I can know that they have enough database that they've invested in. And then more importantly, in those conversations, they need to mirror respect, because in every conversation, no matter if it's a solopreneur or it's a large organization, I tell them this. This is what I love about this business. I want to be a buyer. I said, I'm not here to sell you anything. I can take I can go play in my own sandbox. I don't, I have something you need. And I tell them
Yeah.
in this conversation, I say, I'm not looking to be hired help. I'm looking to be a partner. And if we can't partner, then I'm not the best person to work with. So it's really like a take it or leave it type of business. Like I don't sell anything at this point. It's just here, just
Yeah.
what it is and where you want to get started.
You know what it is when you think about it, you're actually buying out of their business, right?
Yeah,
You are.
yeah.
It's just you don't have to deal with all that partner shit that you were worried about before with your old guy, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to sign any documents. You don't have to do anything. You just have to get your claws in, install that AI into their business in so many different areas that it's too impossible for them to leave. And then I don't know, like where that's going to head, but you'll probably get bought, I would say, at some point by a large insurance player if that's where you're specializing in. So
Well, yeah, I am, and I'm open to multiple different things. I'm building a team right now that is concentrating on low hanging fruit. So from a strategy standpoint, all this is being built out. So we're going to actually we're going to leverage Go High Level, and we're going to go after customers and our goal is to do $200 a day, new business. And the way we're going about doing that is going to rural areas and not metropolitan areas, just rural areas like 20, 25 miles out, 30 miles out of big city areas. And we're basically going to just do like those services like Havback, or, those people who use Google reviews as their primary business model, is to reach out to those individuals and basically have them and say, hey, we can get you on Google, or we can increase what 60% of people are losing for not answering the phone by just doing a text message to those numbers. And then what we're going to do with that is create our own ecosystem. So we're going to basically start marketing to them and then basically upgrade them to AI opportunities. And so
nice.
so the goal is to get low hanging fruit, charge like 197. We've been doing really well. We have a goal right now, 2 things on the bot aspect. Our goal is to do 109 by June 1st, doing $700 a pop for AI. We're going to do
109,
109
109,
clients, 109
109
clients
clients
at 70 $700 a pop. So, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. It's $500 a pop and
per month.
$200 per month. And it's $200 that they have to put down as a security deposit. So they putting up $200 security deposit, and that's really, I'd say that's really covering their ChatGPT fees,
Yeah.
all that other stuff, because they're paying for that. And then basically, I got someone who's concentrating on selling 9 people a week for that. And then I'm working on, right now, I'm in the midst of working on this $200 idea that I said. And so the goal is to do build up a small community, a big community of these people who are looking to improve their business locally. And then I'm going to integrate them into AI later. So
as
that's going
well.
to be the
Yeah.
second
Okay.
half of this year. That's the second half how I plan on finishing out the year.
Mm, mm. Are you still going to lead with database stuff, or are you going to lead with?
I think it's only necessary to. The only reason why I am leading with lead generation right now, and I've actually changed that word verbiage. I call it opportunity marketing, because
Yep.
lead gen right now is such a, depending upon who you're talking to, may not necessarily bode well. So I changed the language. If a person doesn't have a database, it makes it a little difficult to use it.
Mm, mm.
So basically, in a nutshell, we're pairing it with using Facebook ads and Google. And so we're using speed to lead to kind of capture those individuals. So I got a
Okay.
gentleman right now that we just picked up. He out of Mississippi, and he's he's paying 18, 19, about two about yeah, 19, 18.95 a month. And we pairing it with him having organization, AI, us managing his ads, and strategy. So we just anchored and just put packages together based off of what they need. And so that's kind of, so we're basically fine. We're creating a conveyor belt and then going to put packages together as we grow. Okay, that's kind of where we're at right now.
It's interesting. You're kind of going after a lot of the smaller clients as well, which I tend to kind of steer clear of. But if you're able to do their lead gen as well as onboard them for that $500 a month or whatever it is, then it's a pretty good strategy. For me, I'd be a little bit concerned about overlaying all the Facebook ads and everything that goes with it. Depends how much energy you got. Do you know what I mean? Because personally, I think that there's more than enough money to go around with just helping like life insurance agents with their database reactivation and getting them into a CRM, because it amazes me how many of these guys don't have a CRM at all. I mean, it's
Yeah.
2024. It's not too much.
But you know what? I don't want to do. I don't want to do lead gen at all. Actually, I do have a desire to deal with larger clients, but what I wanted to do first and foremost, it was test. I'm comfortable going to B2B because a lot of my larger clients were Fortune 100, Fortune 500 in the actual cleaning space. So I'm not afraid to go to that. But what I wanted to do, because this was a whole new thing that I was learning, I wanted to move fast. I wanted to fail fast really quickly. And
Yeah,
then I wanted to learn how I could put some systems in place, because technically I'm actually new to Go High Level.
really. Wow.
I didn't start Go High Level until August.
Wow.
So I had to learn Go High Level and AI at the same time frame, while I'm selling to clients. So I'm simultaneously just learning
Love
on
it.
the go. And I say, listen, in the cleaning business,
Love it.
this is what I used to do in the cleaning business. This is what I took into this business. So I'll go to a client. I never knew how to strip and wax floors. But if a customer said they wanted it, all right, we
We'll do
got
it.
it. We're gonna figure
Yeah,
it
yeah.
out, right? So I took that same concept here. I was like, all right, yes, we can do it. And then I'll go figure out how to do it later. And that's kind of what I've been doing
Yeah.
at this point.
You only need to know a little bit more than the client in order to sell them, right?
Hey, I learned
Sometimes,
that from a movie, Catch Me If You Can. They asked
yeah.
him, it was a Leonardo DiCaprio movie, and they asked him a question. And how did he was playing this movie about this guy who was faking credit cards and money
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
this
yeah.
type of stuff. And they asked him, how did you teach a college class? He just said, I read the chapter ahead. And so really at the end of the day, it's kind of look at it like, look, all I gotta do, and for
Yeah.
whoever's watching this video, especially those who are still struggling to get clients, you have to know that if you've been in the chats, watching the videos, you still know infinitely more than those people. And so
Mm.
at that point, as long as you can basically encourage, you talk with confidence and then focus on what their benefits are, you got an opportunity. And that's
Yeah.
all you really need.
Speak with confidence, try and help people. And you can be really dangerous. You can be more dangerous selling when when you don't know too much, right? Because like
Absolutely.
a year from now, you might bring on a client, you might have a coffee date with a client, and you, oh, I'm not sure because of this, this, and this, and they can sense that in you, right? Whereas if you
Mm-hmm.
did it today, you'd be like, "Yep, come on board, let's do it. We can definitely help you," right? And that's just
Absolutely.
just part of the journey, but it's all good stuff. So let's I mean, I'm not one for shouting about figures and things like that, but like, uh, how are you going with kind of like recurring income, and how's it looking at the moment with, and
So
where do you want to go?
so right now, everything I do is reoccurring. There's nothing that I don't do that's reoccurring. Um, I'd rather do it one time. Like I'd rather figure out how I can take a payment, a one-time transaction, how I could turn that into a reoccurring business. Like that's how I look at it. Right now, as far as in revenue, as of today is Friday, so as of Tuesday, I just closed 3 people yesterday. So I don't know the numbers on those yet, but I have an idea. As of Tuesday, I am probably upwards of, I want to say, a run rate about 21.5
Months.
a month. But that, I mean, honestly, that's pretty damn quick from December, basically really getting started in January to like now. Like that's pretty, to me, that's impressive. I don't know if that's
It's
impressive to anybody
incredible,
else.
man. That's
It took me a
incredible.
long, it took me a while to do that in the cleaning business. So I mean,
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
that's pretty quick. So
How's your
so really,
overheads? How's your
hmm?
costs and staff and things
Oh
like
man,
that?
it's minuscule. Like that's one thing I really love about the bot. Like, I mean, outside of ChatGPT fees, I mean, really it's intellectual property at this point, right? I mean, I don't pay for GHL because my clients pay for that. So, but I do have some people that I'm paying because I really am trying to build my infrastructure. I'm really
Yeah.
trying to fire myself fast. So I'm in the process. I mean, I want to improve the mistakes that I made from my previous business where I stayed in positions too long, and I want to be in a position where fail fast and then just figure out SOPs. So I am starting to pay. I'm probably about maybe between 15 to 20% right now that I'm paying out.
Nice. Nice.
But that's still considered small compared to the 60% that I was accustomed to. So for me, it's still a
Mm.
discount.
Gravy, man. It's gravy. Well, I'm glad to hear it, because it sounds like you've come from a tough place, like finishing off that other business and moving into something new. But they were at a special time in history, I think, with all this AI stuff. Pretty cool. Um,
I do
what
want to
else was?
answer that one other question too, Dan. So
Yeah.
I want to be running at $1 million. I want to be at $1 million run rate by June 1st.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And then whatever comes from that, great. I'm reinvesting everything that I'm making back into what I'm doing. So the goal is to upgrade, keep educating myself, find top talent that understands what we're doing, invest in them, and hands off. Like I learned a really valuable lesson. Like my hardship has showed me that it's really, I had to reevaluate what was important, what was wins. And during these dark seasons, I reevaluated that wins is sitting at the table with my kids, is it's reading a good book, is
Yeah.
having my time.
Yeah.
Um, so once I redefine that, like that is the why now. The why is not getting caught up with how much money I make, is how much freedom I got.
Time. Time. This is a time-rich business, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, one bit of advice I think is for you to start digging deeper with some of your clients about how you can help them with not just the lead gen stuff, right? So let's say they've got leads coming in, you're doing the speed to lead, you're doing the database reactivation. A lot of these insurance agents might also need help with document collection. They might need help with, I don't know, you're an insurance agent, so you can probably tell me what they need help with, but the best way to do that is just pick up the phone, take them out for dinner, and just talk to them about how things are going, where they want to go, and what they need help with. And all of a sudden, you'll hear that one thing that enables you to separate yourself from everyone else that's getting into this game. And you'll be able to, as I keep saying, just get your claws into these business. And sometimes I'm not concerned, but I'm a little bit worried that there's going to be lots of people moving into this space that might try and undercut you with what you're doing. But if you in further than just the lead gen stuff, then I think it'll be too hard for them to leave, if that makes sense.
Yeah, actually, I have a meeting after this call today with an actual agent about pipeline management. And they make their money being on the phone, not entering data. And they really need, they don't even have the time to go get a VA and train a VA. They don't, when they buying a VA, they buying it for appointment setting, but that doesn't really help them organize their business. So
Yeah.
I'm looking to strategize and create inbound and outbound, sales processes for them. Those
Yeah.
are conversations that we're doing. So I am layering, I know I'm talking more granular about AI, but my business model is to become a partner for structure, strategy, and marketing, but also systematizing. So streamlining your business. So if you decide to do an action, and this is my favorite line that I like to talk to people especially when I had staff working for me, let's have a data field conversation versus a data free conversation. So when we get emotional, that's data free. When we have a data field, we can look at and see how things are operating into our business, and we can make corrections based off of that. And that's kind of how people see value in my conversation. Is I really think about, you know, when we make a move, how does this move impact everyone else in your business, or how does this overall improve the bottom line of where we're going? I don't want to just be a lead gen person. I tell them all the time, lead gen is the third thing I would even offer recommend. Fourth thing, there's so much you have in your business right now that you could be doing to be an
Yeah.
authority in your space versus just focusing on throwing money to some type of platform that may not be able to, like, you're relying too much on a platform versus building your ecosystem, and then
Yeah.
in that side of the ecosystem working through those people. So that's my
Yeah.
strategy when I talk to people.
You're also going to be in a good position soon because let's say you have 100 clients, right? And what happens when they've got their infrastructure built and their leads are everything's just working like clockwork on the back end? What do they need more of then?
They definitely need
Yeah.
AI to come in, need
The leads.
reactivation. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Need leads.
They need
Absolutely.
more leads, right? So you'll
Hmm.
be in a position you can go to a lead gen and say, listen, I've got 100 clients. Their back end converts like crazy because I've built it. They're using AI. Do you want to, like, can I make some introductions for you, right? Can I help you get some more business, right? All you have to do is pay me 20% of the profits from each of those business, and then you've got some passive income coming in, right? Like it's completely passive. They're going to love you. They're going to be happy to pay you. There you
Listen,
go.
and I think, Dan, that's an area that I wrote down as a goal this year, is to invest in maybe spending time with people like yourself, to understand how to structure stronger deals, like to get my teeth sinked in a little bit. So I had put that down as something I'm going to reinvest, as money come in, is to get the leadership to talk about those type of things, to what are better ways to go to market and position myself not only as an expert, but really tie myself to that equity of that company. Cause
Yeah,
that's really what I'm looking for. I don't want to be a
yeah,
line item. I want to be equity. That's for sure.
exactly, man, exactly. Buddy, listen, I've got to go because I've got to go pick up my son for football. But I tell you what, it's been a pleasure, and
Yes, sir.
congratulations for the success you've had so fast. And I'll be watching closely to
Thank
see if
you.
you can,
I'll keep you up too. Keep you dated.
please do, man. Thanks for your chat.
All
Take
right.
care.
Have a good one.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that interview with Touré. As you can see, he's pretty excited about what's going on and what he's doing. If you want to follow in his footsteps and figure out how you can do this too, well, guess what? I've got a free challenge on YouTube. It's called the Prince Charming Challenge. I'm going to link below. You'll be able to find it there. As I said, it's all 100% free. You can get started. I'm going to show you how to land clients, get them coffee dates, close clients, demo the clients, then go and build the Android for them. It's all 100% free. You're going to love it. It's really good stuff. If you did like this video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, like, all that type of cool stuff. I'll speak to you later. Take care.